what has now become a nightly tradition here on the Overanalyst channel, some Hand of Fate. Give me just a minute to check audio. Okay, and we are good. Tell you what, we're going to give it about 2 minutes, as is the norm, to, first off, let me get a drink, and then let people sort of shuffle into the chat room, and I'll be right back with you. Alright, it's been about 2 minutes, going to go ahead and get started. Just a moment, guys. Thankfully, I think all our tech is working at the start of the stream tonight, so that's already an improvement. Welcome one and all to another Overanalyst stream. My name is Brady, and I'll be your host as we continue to tear our way through the 2015 indie darling Hand of Fate. We're nearing the end quite rapidly, due to a equal measure of luck, skill, and a significant amount of help from the good folks in chat. Seriously, you guys have been a great deal of help to me, particularly with those chance card games. I, for whatever reason, find it very difficult to follow them on my TV. If I'm like watching somebody play Hand of Fate on the computer, I can do it pretty easily, but I don't know what it is. At any rate, thanks to all of those factors, we have been blazing through the game at a pretty fast clip, and have only 2 courtiers left before we are on the game's final and extremely challenging chapter. Really excited for that. Might not get into the final chapter tonight, folks, if only because the next 2 are going to be both pretty long and, depending on the quality of loot and luck we receive, may actually force us to restart once or twice. After all that's left before us are the kings of the Ratmen and the Lizards. And those seem to be the 2 classes of enemies that have the greatest chance of completely destroying me at this point. So, yeah, let's jump back in. Starting out with the worst of the 2 by far, the Ratman King. So in addition to those injury cards that I think will just reduce our maximum HP pretty nasty, he just has a few combat encounters as his challenges, but also, every single time we counterattack an enemy, and I think that includes deflections, we're going to lose food, though deal double damage. Means that so long as we can actually parry the King of Plague, we should be able to make relatively quick work of him. But it also means I'll have to be really, really careful and focus on dodging and bashing enemies instead of attempting to parry them. And then time distortion. We move faster and take more damage. That's actually in the Ratmen's favor because they're so fast already. Now, the good news is, should we receive the blessing of our Lord and Master Hugehammer, or his superior Hugehammer, we should be able to cleave right through just about anything, seeing as how I think Hugehammer deals 40 damage, which is like nearly a time and a half. Over a time and a half, the damage our baseline weapon deals. And so add 50% to that, and yikes. It would not be pretty for the enemy. Oh, well, this isn't much in the way of lore, is it? Only the most savage and cunning of the rat men rise to royalty among their ranks. Thanks. Kinda figured.
It's grown in the dark, surviving every challenge and feasting upon the bones of every single failure.
We're going to go ahead and start with our recommended deck and be very judicious in kind of picking through it. We don't want the Underworld yet. We don't want the Goblin King. Most of these look fine. Don't need that. Nor that. Nor that. Well, yeah, don't need it. And of course we're stuck with the golems until we clear out 3 of them in one run. White Minotaur. The next installment in the Kraken DLC. Next installment in Charity. You know, I like the Crucible even though it's dangerous, so we're gonna keep it. Mr. Fiddlescruff's in chat. First off, good to see you, man. Says, will the Jack of Dust finally have his revenge tonight? Let's find out. You're not going to need to watch the stream to figure that out. The answer's always going to be no. As I recall, the Jack of Dust poses a credible threat all of once from this point on, and it's in the final chapter. So probably not tonight. But we probably are gonna get to kill him 3 or 4 more times, so that's something. Let's throw in the bandit attack. And Dead Man's Gorge. Good. I'll even, wait, no. Yeah, we'll go ahead and keep, Stranger in the Shadows, I think. Or, no. No, instead we'll throw in the first card in the Mr. Lionel quest line, instead. Stranger in the Shadows might drain our max HP, and given that, the King of Plague already does that, through his curse deck, we don't want to, like, borrow trouble. What do we not need? Take the Ring of Enlightenment. And the Mage Strike. That sounds pretty good. Skeleton King's Helm. Alright, just had to make sure that the best card in the game's in there, which it is. We're in business. Alright, so time to banish the Ratmen, hopefully.
The king will not respond to your normal tactics. In fact, he will make you work harder for less gain than ever.
Ooh, a bunch of face cards in that enemy deck. Hope everybody's doing well out there.
Once this is done and the Rat King chews upon your bones, it will be an age before I can find new pieces to face those who come to play.
Well, guys, we got the one piece of equipment that we cannot use on this map. The only one. Because every time we deflect or parry an attack, we lose a piece of food. I'm pretty sure all of the Ratman's gimmicks involve food. Oh.
Useful.
When we get to choose between multiple loot cards, we get one more choice every time. Well, that's something, I suppose. Oh, what do we have here? Oh, well, I'm definitely going through that.
Work your way through the woods and see what lies beyond.
Well, I should say I'm definitely going through Twisted Canyon and the Tavern, probably not the Crucible. Hey, there we go. What do we get this time? Guys, you know this can't just be a coincidence, right? There has to be something to this. Like, every time. Every single time. Well, we can't lose on this run now. It's locked in. Now that all is right in the world, let's go check out the tavern.
Ever and always the lure of treasure moves you forward. There is no gain without a prize.
In a tavern, we meet a ship's captain. Pirates have taken over my ship, the Drunken Wench. Real classy. Help me reclaim her and I'll share whatever treasure remains in her hold. Yeah, sure, I'll fight some pirates. Oops, that's not good. Divine intervention, says Mr. Fiddlescruffs, that's true. So we're chasing them.
Choose from these options.
Hey, there we go. We find the ship just off the coast. Carefully we climb aboard and discover that the pirates have tied up the crew, abandoned the ship, and most of the treasure. Bless you, lad, the captain says. I have my wench back. I'm sure that's gonna go over well. So we get a gain card, some more food, good, and a blessing. Whenever we eat food, we get double the healing. I'll take it.
I will have to rebalance that.
So we don't get the token, unfortunately, because I think we failed the first event. But, still good. I'll take it.
Roaming ever forward, hunting for the truth.
Oh, gee, I wonder where we have to go from here.
I have
So
been
many
confident,
options.
Perhaps complacent. Yet, these
Oh, the
final
Holy Forge. We can't do anything here.
ages past, specifically to hold against the greatest challenges. You cannot possibly hope to defeat them.
MC2M says, I need to fail the first event for the token, if I recall. And hello. Hey, thanks so much for joining us. It's my first time seeing you in chat. I'm glad to have you along. So I take it I need to fail the first event and then get a huge success on the second? If I recall, like, the Devil's Carnival works similarly. Well, we can't get Huge or Hammer, but that's alright. Ooh, time to fight a golem. Always have fun with this. Hopefully not the failure. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, with the power of Hugehammer, I don't see this guy being too big of an obstacle. Now, the fact that this forest is laden with traps is going to be kind of difficult to deal with. Come on. Right this way, sir. Oh, whoops. Shouldn't have, deflected. Gotta remember the curse that's active here. Ooh. Got some range on that. There we go. Getting Wrath of the Gods the last time I had to deal with these guys kind of spoiled me a little bit. Not too bad, though. And we get some food, which I will very gladly accept. Traveling healer, No need for anything yet. Ah, the local peasant. We will definitely give her our 5 food, because that guarantees us a piece of equipment. And it's my favorite pair of gloves in the game, the fleet cuffs. This will definitely help us as we have to prioritize dodging in this chapter. Not the most useful floor to get the map information on, but
Caves and caverns.
a kind gesture regardless.
Find adventure without a little delving now. What brings you to play the game? Ha, I know you will not tell me.
Ah, the cave rescue. Great.
You are silent.
Wow, 6 mages have captured this woman. That's kind of new. Well, with Hugehammer, we should be able to make quick work of him. This ain't gonna be pretty, but we will make it out the other side. Thankfully, these guys are extremely fragile. Marvel at my incredible combat skills. It's been a long day, if you can't tell. Oh, and that's all of them. And C2M says, horny mage dispatched, lady expresses gratitude. Yeah, we get some good loot from this one, I want to say. Just top my health off. Not great, but I'll take it. You know, the mages, actually, even with the stipulation against counters, aren't quite as bad as like a full party of bandits would be, I don't think. And it's the first chapter in Mr. Lionel's DLC quest line. One night, as you lie in a forest clearing, you are disturbed by the sight of a shadowy figure watching from the darkness. Well met, the goblin exclaims, stepping into the light and sitting by the fire. Just the armed warrior I've been seeking. The goblin makes himself comfortable. My name is Mr. Lionel, and I have a tale of woe to share with you, and, perhaps, an opportunity for you to make a tidy profit from my misfortune. He goes on to tell the story of his troubles with the King of the Goblins, while lamenting his subsequent banishment from the goblin community. The king could have shown leniency, he concludes, given that his daughter and I were both drunk from the excellent Delesian brandy served at his coronation. Instead, he opted to make his first official act my banishment. The fool will regret it, though. For now, it is time for revenge, he says eagerly, taking out a strange amulet. For hundreds of years, the Goblin Kings have gathered treasure and hoarded it in a series of enchanted and ever-changing treasure vaults. Only the Goblin King himself knows where his treasure vaults are hidden, but now I have a way to find them. I just need a lock of elven hair to complete this magical device. I'll accept the task. Excellent. Just get the hair by any means possible. Don't worry. I'll find you again once your quest is complete. With that, he returns to the shadows and sits down behind a bush, watching you. And we get our token, no muss, no fuss. Mages are a joke in the first game? Yeah, they are, and if I recall, granted it's been ages since I played either of these games, they're not much tougher in the second game, they just appear a bit more frequently and in groups of standard enemies. All we'll miss is the winding trail, that's alright, I will take it.
Now, this is my kind of travel.
Coulda really used some gold or food at some point.
No. A fortune teller is at their most base and despicable when they begin to believe their own lies. Of course, I am different. My powers are genuine.
The cave shelter.
There's a token in it for you if you win.
You enter a cave, intending to shelter from a heavy storm, when you discover signs that it is already inhabited by monsters. Let's, Let's try to hide. Just in case. See what it gets us. A huge failure. That's not good. So we have to fight... No, just some random mooks. That's alright. The skull should go down quite quickly thanks to Hugehammer, and the plague rats ain't much tougher, I don't think, even with their upgrades. I should have just entered boldly then. Oof. Not too bad, not too bad. That area of effect attack that Hugehammer comes equipped with is insanely useful. We do get the token, and plenty of loot. My kind of encounter. Some much-needed food. Right on. Now what's over here? Oh, the good old helpful priest, who asks for half of our food, which unfortunately we cannot provide at this point. Don't have enough gold for anything. He did mention, I think, that in the Rat King's domain, it's going to be a little bit harder to get really substantial gain cards.
Beneficial to deal with that crossbow as a priority, don't you?
So the Bandit Queen and the skeletons. Every time, man, every time I draw the huge failure. Great. So we lose a third of our health, and have to fight these guys. Oh, I have the worst luck with chance games, y'all. Fiddlescruff says, well played. Yeah, it's not a good look. Good news is we should be able to deal with these guys pretty easily. Whew. Yeah, I was just gonna eat that crossbow bolt. Unfortunately, it does appear that Hugehammer, as a holy weapon, stops the skeletons from reanimating. There we go. Not too bad at all. MC2M says, fortunately, the Mani is not actually luck-based. I know it's not. I just have the hardest time tracking the cards on my TV. If I'm watching, like, on a computer, I do just fine, but for some reason, it's just the TV.
Protection is a virtue, but more is not always better.
Armor level is increased and it can knock enemies down. We're already moving faster than normal, so I'd say this is a worthwhile trade-off. Mr. Fiddlescruff says, or it's because they're just afraid of Hugehammer and it has nothing to do with it being holy. Very likely. Hugehammer is incredible. And I mean, they're right to fear it, as should we all.
Nothing more pleasing than the smell of salt water and the rush of wind, is there? At their heart, all games are about power, are they not? The acquiring of power, the retaining of power.
Oh, this is an interesting card. I barely remember what it does, but... MC2M says, oh yeah, PC screen definitely helps. Certainly does. And nothing scares a skeleton like breaking a femur. So I take it this is your first visit to our little streams, in which case, thank you so much again for stopping by. We're so glad to have you. But, by sheer coincidence, we found Hugehammer, I think the first chapter it was added into our equipment deck. And it was, I think, the Jack of Bones chapter, maybe. And it allowed us to just clean house effortlessly every combat encounter that round. And our luck drastically improved for the remainder of the chapter, and like clockwork since then, we've been acquiring Hugehammer at the start of every single chapter, as if it has chosen us. So it's basically my incredibly forced attempt to establish a running joke. One day you happen upon a young wizard practicing his magic in the forest. He greets you in a friendly manner and beckons you closer. Since we have been forced to leave our sacred tower, we must make our own way in this world. For a small fee, I could transport you to a destination in a faraway land. I'm actually gonna give him all our gold in exchange for teleportation, if only because it gives us the card's token, and we are hungry for tokens. The young wizard waves his wand, saying, "Don't worry, I'm almost always successful in transporting myself to other places. Luggage is a little trickier." We get what matters. And are transported down, I believe, to the next level of the maze.
You understand what it is?
Or the board.
Or did I rush you through the rules, pushing you into the play before you were prepared?
Dead Man's Gorge.
Our Queen of Plague returns.
Bandits and the Rat Queen. Great. The bandits will be fine. It's the Rat Queen I'm worried about. We need to smash the Plague Locust almost immediately. Might have to carve our way through the bandits on the front end, but that's alright. Let's check out that new shield, and yeah, that is definitely an enormous shield. Looks a lot better than the gear we started out with, I'll tell you that. Whew. Lord, why's everybody got a ranged attack? Oof. Well, there goes the Rat Queen. She is actually very fragile. That's good to know. Like, I mean, even compared to the other ranged bosses. There we go. MC2M says that is amazing regarding the Legend of Hugehammer, I presume. And yes, it is. The only time after obtaining Hugehammer I've ever traded it away, well, 2 times. Once was to the noble trader to get his token and a buttload of gold. The other time was as a part of the Old Monasteries quest line, to replace it with the Great War or the Battle Hammer, which... It's been so long since Hand of Fate, I legitimately totally forgot this. Me and my chat were delighted to see is just a statistically improved version of Hugehammer, or Huger Hammer, a weapon to surpass Hugehammer. Increase max health, good. Gold, good.
I'm sure you're grateful for that.
More max health, that's a really good haul, actually. The lovers again. Fiddlescruff says just yeet me across the board. There are a lot of late game cards that involve yeeting across the board. We'll go ahead and help to get the blessing. Will of the Gods, not a fantastic one. It doesn't matter what happens here, we'll do fine. Hey, there we go. No muss, no fuss. I'm hoping to get the blessing that allows me to redraw chance cards. Ah, damn it. So that means it's gas trap time.
A choice. Select your desire.
Hey, I was actually able to follow that one for the first time probably since we started these streams. Fiddlescruff says, nice. Yes, sir. Thank you, thank you. And we finally get some equipment. Spiritual healing. Whenever we're healed, we get an additional 1 health per blessing. So that's an additional 3 or 4 for this map. More gold. Another piece of equipment. Berserker armor. Every hit we sustain increases our speed and strength.
Closer examination.
Let's see. Since the enormous shield already increases our armor class from medium to heavy, this would allow us to get all of the effects of this armor, which appear to be quite nice, and also keep at the least medium armor class. I think it's worth it for now. Let me know in chat if you think that's wrong, or at the least not the best course of action. The hero's remains, always a good way to get a blessing. Of course it's not going to replace Hugehammer. And of course the incredibly titled Pain isn't going to replace
More than anything,
our enormous shield.
I'm proud of my array of curses.
I'm going to lose half my health. There's no way I can get there in time. I don't think. So it's a pair of bandits and their pet lava golem. That's an unusual combination, but as we have seen throughout these streams, these bandits will pair up with any number of monsters for a little bit of profit. Good for them. There we go. Gonna try to get rid of them first. That was easy. Ooh. Actually got it off that time. Because, for some reason, my character keeps doing those slightly more drawn-out finishing moves, or boosts his combo enough to start performing them just as he charges up the AoE. But we got it, we got it. Mr. Fiddlescruff says, or it's a lava golem with its pet bandits. You know, that's fair. I did not consider that. But could be. And there you go, I lost half of my max health because they placed the hero's return a bit too far away, which is weird.
And that is, in itself, a form of virtue.
He wants my armor. I'm gonna go ahead and sell the Berserker armor this time, because all the gold we get should be able to buy us enough other gear, or blessings, or boosts to survive our health being lower. 15, 40, hey. 3, 7. So, decent amount. And we should get a blessing from this. Oh, 2 blessings. Arcane knowledge, which I'll take.
Blessings are too good for the likes of you.
And the headman's blessing, which doesn't apply. Eh. Oh, that health limit is worrying me. Fortunately, we got 2 shops here.
He can smell you.
That's lovely. We're gonna stop in at both shops. We should be able to increase our max health again at the healers, which is quite nice. This armor grows stronger with every blow sustained. That's nice. Oh. Well, we can finally buy pain, but guys, check this out. This appears to be a slightly weaker, multi-use version of the Wrath of the Gods spell. Now, I think that sounds like a pretty good buy, don't you? Gonna go ahead and snatch that up. Gonna sell our spare equipment. Mage Strike is fun indeed. Good, good. I'm hoping to get some use out of it against the Rat King and his entourage. We're gonna go to the healer first because I really don't want to accidentally discover the Rat King before we can raise our health back up to acceptable levels. Oh, we can't. That's unfortunate. We'll go ahead and buy a little bit more food, then. It can be used if mages go on strike as well. Yeah, I mean... Well, first off, joke appreciated, but secondly, I would assume things like that would actually be really, really useful against the mages in this game.
Bandit.
And bandit attack.
Make an enemy of one, and you've made
Just 3 bandits. This should be a cakewalk.
Can't help but admire their single-mindedness.
We've run into surprisingly few rats in this map so far. There we go. Oh, once we get to the boss, we can finally break our counterattacks back out of deep freeze. What do we get? What do we get? Just tops our health off. I'll take it. Oh, charity. We can get a blessing.
Losers or scorn them.
I'll go ahead and give 5 food. Why not? Oh dear. I want to say 3. Does 3 look right to you guys? Three or 2, maybe? Fiddlesgrove says I looked away. No problem, no problem. Should be one of these, I want to say. 3. Oh, damn it. Should have gone 2. That's alright, we still get a blessing. Critical strike. That'll be useful.
Your food runs short. This does not bode well.
Gonna stop in and buy more food in case I have to explore a bit further. Well, actually, we're gonna stop in here and buy more food.
Finally, an opportunity to eat.
That should do it.
From now on, you'll be taking damage, unless you can find more food.
Perfect. The Great Helm of Reinforcement. This is ages better.
Are you sure that's the right approach?
Meet the Highbinder from the Kraken DLC.
Token if you succeed.
Your meet is arranged to happen by the cliffs outside Norwich. However, when you arrive, you are greeted only by the icy cold embrace of the sea breeze. Just as you're wondering if you've been swindled, a young street urchin comes rushing towards you. He hands you a note before disappearing down the cliff face with a speed and grace you would not dare match. The note is from the Highbinder. Paranoia is always well-founded. There is a kraken attacking the ships that are leaving Norwich, and the local smugglers are keen that nobody hears their services are at risk. I'm sorry that we couldn't meet in person, but I do detest violence, especially when it may happen to me. By the time you stuff the note into your pocket, you can already hear the approaching rabble. We don't like nobody sticking their noses where it don't belong. That includes you and that sneaky git what were here before. I'm not going to land a part in any period dramas anytime soon. And look who it is! It's our old buddy the Jack of Dust again. Along with the Bandit King this time. Well, Jack, we know how this goes. What are you gonna do when Hugehammer runs wild all over you, brother? There we go. And the Jack of Dust down for about the 500th time. Give him a hand, though, ladies and gents. He is trying his level best. Oof. Man, they come with those counterattacks fast. And killed with a, like, back kick straight to the ass. Fiddlescruff says that dude just doesn't know when to give up, oh my lord. Yeah, and it is far from the last time we're going to be seeing him, I promise you. We are guaranteed to run into the Jack of Dust at least once more, probably more often. With your pursuers defeated, you plan to return to Carlo to give him the bad news regarding the Kraken. And the token is now ours. Nice. I'm gonna heal up and try to head for where I think the Rat King is. Since that damn returning hero card just destroyed my, health, I'm really cautious. And here he is.
Meet the Lord of all pestilence, the King of Plague.
The most dangerous Ratman known. The Ratman King has a leap attack that must be avoided if you want to keep the skin on your bones. So, sounds like, I can barely remember anything about this guy other than him giving me a hell of a time in combination with other forces. But he just has the standard Ratman leap attack, only an unblockable variant. I guess as long as we clear out his support, like most of the bosses, he shouldn't be nightmarish. And thankfully, we have Mage Strike on our side. A 4 of Plague, that's respectable and frightening. Oh, you have no idea how badly I want to be rid of you and the rest of the Plague suit. Mage Strike. Now I can deflect attacks. Whoa, what on earth? Rodent ninjutsu. So it's going to take... Ow! Ow! Jesus. This is not looking good. One, two, three. Whew. We may or may not get it this time, guys. Oh, damn it! Damn it, damn it, damn it. Well, that is our second death of the playthrough. Right at the end, and yeah, the rat teleports. I did not know that.
The rats will find you and
yeah.
on your bones.
That's not great.
And the battle is ended.
We can get this though. If we enter with like actual health, we'll do fine.
And the end of my reserves. You have taken near everything from me.
One of Mr. Lionel's cards. For exploring the cave during a storm, we get food per blessing. That's useful. We get the surprise portal, which I think is just a free version of the apprentice's paid teleport. For discovering the truth behind the attacks on Norwich, we receive the Tavern Attack and the next Kraken card. Okay, gonna incorporate some of these in.
How bare my cabinet now looks.
We're taking this guy down tonight. I'm not pleased with that at all.
Are you a religious person? Now is the time for prayers. The King of Plague will kill you and lick the fat from your bones.
I get the feeling. Let's see. There we go. These all appear to be things we want. Maybe not the apprentice. The solstice, charity, and my personal favorite combat encounters. They love assigning the chain or recommending the Chains of Rage, and I have no idea why. Let's see here. Enormous shield. What we really need to do is draw the rat cleaver at some point. That'd end this pretty succinctly. There we go. Alright, kids, let's try this again. Alright, and what goodies do we begin with?
Think about the way
Explorer's helmet, I'll take it.
you continue to die, yet
And more damage for every blessing, good.
one has to wonder how it is possible to truly lose.
My deck is largely based around, earning blessings through various events.
One more
So,
down,
I'm actually gonna try to wipe out the golems this time.
another set of stairs.
But my deck is based around drawing out blessings in part. So I'm feeling pretty confident about our ability to output some serious damage before long. Good. Just have to remember we cannot counter as badly as we may want to. Let's do it. Flinches surprisingly easily for a massive creature made of stone and flame, hey? Not that I'm complaining. Hey, got him. And we get some food on the map. And now we get to see if we can't pull it off a second time in a row. There we go. Is it going to be the same map? No, not this time. Good. Or no? Yes, it is. This should be nice, nice. They're not as durable as they look, really. Not much tougher than a Lich, I don't want to say. More food. Excellent, excellent, especially for running into the priest. Just a combat encounter at the Winding Trail. Just 4 bandits. We got this. Hope everybody's doing well tonight. I know, probably not going to be as chatty as usual as we kind of work our way back through, but I am so glad to have you all here. And hope that you and yours are doing well in this time. Whew. There we go. Even fully upgraded, these guys and the skulls aren't too much of a threat. MC2M says golems are pretty easy unless in a group of enemies where they can sneak in an explosion. Yeah, that's what I find as well. And in this game, at least, I'm not so sure about the sequel, but in this game, they hardly ever spawn with other enemies, I don't believe. Ring of Survival, we don't need that. Skeleton King Sword that allows us to drain health from enemies. We're definitely taking that. Not in the least because it looks incredibly cool. And we get to try it out against a few more bandits. Right on, right on. There are no golems in the second. Okay. Should tell you how long it's been since I've played Hand of Fate or Hand of Fate 2. I made it to the very last chapter in this game and made it a little over halfway through the second, so I am hardly an expert on the series. I read that before this wonderful studio got shuttered, they were actually working on sort of a spiritual successor involving a very similar concept, only using a much larger kind of action-adventure RPG system, and, like, hexagonal tiles being used to represent specific encounters or areas or things like that in the style of a strategic board game. Shame that never came to fruition, because, yeah, A World in My Attic. I've not seen any footage or anything. I'll definitely look up that video you just mentioned. But it sounds incredible. Definitely the kind of thing I would check out. And
descend ever deeper into the subterranean pit.
Next round.
All the world is a game board. And
The helpful
men and
priest
women
asking for half of our food.
I alone do not play. I maintain
I'll actually take this for now, because we will deal additional damage for every blessing.
your choices. Are merely a rediscovery of that which you already know.
Okay. Okay, I'll take it. No complaints. Toxic blood.
Useful.
Yeah, that's a pretty useful one. Let's see what this shop has. I don't want to be, like, too loose with my expenditure of gold, but I may purchase some food if nothing else here is interesting. Oh, success chance cards award gold. That sounds nice. Spiritual healing. No, we don't need that. Anything to sell? Not really. I'll go ahead and just buy 2 food to help us get by. Oh god, no. Good news. We're gonna take this quest this time because we need that blessing and the additional damage. And correct me if I'm wrong, y'all, but it doesn't look like there's anywhere on this particular map that would be, yeah, more than, like, 3 or 4, 3 spaces away from us. So we can definitely, handle this little side quest.
As pleases you.
Okay. Hey, it's our last golem. We defeat this one, and I believe we receive the card's token and unlock the 3 golem hunting party cards from our deck, allowing us to be a little bit more preferential in our selection of cards. Oh, are you kidding me? Okay, so first strike. We lose 1/3 of our health. That's great. Oh, you said 4? Yeah, man, I would have taken it. But thank you. Thank you for minding it for me. I will definitely be sure to give chat an opportunity to weigh in from here on out, because I am terrible at these. I much preferred the other games of chance they offer include in Hand of Fate 2. Ow. That should do it, yep. And we gain just a little bit of health back by wailing on him. Right on, right on. Having dispatched a third group of the rock creatures, the regular surface raids against the humans cease. At the next village you visit, the people come out and greet you warmly. 2 gain cards and the token. So we get some of that health back. And food. Very, very happy. One of the villagers, a crooked old crone, offers to craft a pair of magical gloves for you. You thank her and leave, wondering if she'll ever deliver on that promise. MC2M says, to be fair, I track the single fail card, simpler to deal with. I try to as well, but again, it's either the TV, or I got so used to just playing largely dice and pendulum games in Hand of Fate 2, even though I know chance cards come back nowhere nearly as frequently, that I'm more than a little rusty. And it's the Winding Trail again. Bandits and lizard men. No problem here. Lizard men can definitely hurt, but they're so slow when there's only 2 of them. I'm not terribly worried about them. Oh, but one of them's ranged. That's gonna be a little nasty. Thank you for the health. And since we've got several blessings now, we should deal a little bit more damage. And we're about to increase that supplementary damage by an even larger amount. There we go. I quite like the look of the Skeleton King's sword.
I'm sure you're grateful for that.
It's relatively elegant as, like, Hand of Fate weapons go. And here we are. Oh, hell yes. Probably my second favorite blessing in the game. The Wrath of the Old Gods will automatically kill just about any non-boss enemy at the start of combat. Or one non-boss enemy, I should say. I think if it hits a boss, it deals a ton of damage, but usually won't kill them outright.
Certainly. Your currency is spent. Your memories tattered and torn. Formed into mere cards for us to play with.
The Tavern Wager. No, I might need my gold for food. And the guy attacks us instead, so we're fighting the King of Dust and some backup. Alright. At least it's not the Jack this time. It will be, eventually, though. Of course it will be. Whoop. How on earth he manages to call down those artillery rounds while inside a tavern, I've no idea. Or rather, I should say, how he manages to get them to fall from the rafters, I've no idea. Enjoy. Nice and easy. And we killed him by sucking out his soul. Wow, damn, I don't think we even put Jack through that yet. Nice. And we do get some gain. More gold. The arrow cutter.
Created by one of the king's mages during the first Ratman incursions.
Definitely gonna want this. And even more gold. I am a happy, happy man. The Holy Forge we can't do anything with, unfortunately. Ooh, the Dead King's Hall. Alright, let's see what we've got, friends. Oh.
Natural enemy of magic. Our
The Lizard Men. Alright, what do we have?
Choose from
I'm thinking 2? Does it look like 2? It's either 2 or 3, maybe? One or 2. I'm gonna go 2, maybe? Oh man, it was 4 actually, wow. Okay, that's alright. Jack of Scales is really big, but that's about all he's got going for him. Oh, dear. Have fun trying to get over here, guys. Have fun trying to get back over here, guys. Oof. Not the one I was aiming for, but okay. Ooh. Okay. We need to get you out of the picture, sir. Ow. There we go. Oh, is the Jack dead? Wow. So took more damage than I'd care to, but honestly, we did pretty okay. Made, I shan't say cheap, even though it totally was, creative use of the traps to work in our advantage. Get some of that health back. And more equipment. I mean, I guess I'll draw Mage Strike. And we'll even equip it for now. Why not? Ah, the Noble Trader, what do you want? My weapon? Oh god, no. You must be out of your mind. And the mage. Mages typically offer, like, overpriced but, like, high-quality weapons, armor, and artifacts, I think. Yeah. Nothing that's really worth it aside from some food. Overpriced food, but food. I'll go ahead and buy a ton of it.
I'm sure you're
Do not care. Let's see what this is real quick. The marketplace.
surprised to
Great.
find a recollection of a closed
Let's
market.
bid half our gold on food.
Memories.
Alright, folks, hold on. It's gonna be chance time. Ready those eyes. Three, maybe? Two, perhaps? Two, yeah. Ooh, nope. Three would have done it, so one food. Alright, made up for the cost of transit at any rate. Angry Guildmaster, we didn't need him.
An expedition. Press on. Once, many came to play the game. Now, it's so few. The bored, the obsessed, the weak.
Oh, great to find that now.
Merely to fill their minds with anything else but their problems, with any other issue than the thing on their mind today. Is that what you're doing now?
Charity, he needs food.
The secrets of your memory.
I have no food.
New cards.
Sorry.
Some you wish you'd left untouched.
I'm about to go buy a butt ton of food, though. This run is going to be down to the wire, folks, but I think we can do it.
Food. You must be relieved.
Not the word I'd use, but sure. MC2M says, have I ever played with the Wildcards DLC? You know, I have it. I own it. I've actually never given it a shot, though. Since I'm streaming this straight through, I figured I'd want to play through the entire game, or the entire story mode, using the default loadout that was available at launch first, and then maybe do some endless mode runs or something like that with one of the, or just go back to some old chapters with one of the other wildcard loadouts, and try to progress that in the DLC quest lines in like a post-game stream. 5 food for 18. Yeah. Yeah. And we'd have to sell Arrow Cutter. Not quite worth it. The DLC looks really interesting, like it adds a ton of stuff. Asking because metal ore is really interesting with a specific wildcard? That's interesting. I'll have to keep that in mind. Looks like they give you a million really interesting options. Oh, and it's someone who wants food. Sorry, I have no food. Welp. And the interesting cards were all over there. Dang it. We just gotta carry on, though. 2 more shops.
Awaits you.
Huh. Ooh, the Loan. This is a great card. Don't know if it'll be worthwhile here, but...
Very nice indeed.
Winding Trail, a good opportunity to get some food.
Perhaps this time.
The Bandit Queen and Mages.
Occasionally, raw maid defeat.
So this is going to be a very range-intensive battle. But we should be able to take down our enemies all the same. And there goes one of the bandits. Whew. Oh, we're off to a great start. Oof. This is probably my least favorite map in the entire game due to the ridiculous amount of traps. They're not exactly hidden anywhere, but they're all over the place, and it's very, very easy to accidentally wander into them. 3, 4. Luckily, the mages deal very low damage on their own. Oh! See what I meant by randomly blundering into traps? Did it twice in a row unintentionally. But we made it. We made it. Definitely gonna need to heal up, though. 2 gain cards. Enormous shield. Yep.
This will block it.
That's right, man. They did remove traps from the second game. I totally forgot about that, but they did. And bless them for it. Oh, dear.
Let us stake a token on their foolishness.
Not exactly the card we wanted right now, but chance time. Oh, well, that was distressingly easy. Now we need to win the next one. Looks like 2, maybe? What are we thinking? I'm saying 1 or 2, probably. Wasn't paying attention? Alright. Let's see. Hey! Fantastic! Along the back of the large tent, you discover a row of cages. Strange creatures look at you mournfully through the bars. You stop at the sight of a beast, with the body of a lion and the head of a man. Please help me, the beast exclaims. I was born a man, but then I came here. They did this to me. You open the cage and the beast jumps out, saying, Bless you, stranger. I may live out my days as an animal, but at least I won't have to perform for these devils. One more blessing, the Lizard Eater, which would have been great to have earlier. And we finally get the token. The man-beast turns and flees between the other cages, swiping at them in fury as he passes. Various other cages break open, releasing a number of unusual-looking beasts that fly away. Sometime later, you find yourself standing... Oh, it's the standard epilogue for that quest. Alright. Now I'm actually going to go to the shop to buy a bit more food and explore the northernmost path, because I want to get as many cards and tokens this go-round as I can. Despite running low on food, we're actually enjoying a pretty good run so far. We've got a great weapon, great shield, and some halfway decent blessings. Let's go ahead and sell the axe to get 10 food, why not? Oh, you're reading up on how to get the token? Yeah, I always had difficulty in my earlier playthrough that I undertook, I want to say a year or 2 after the game came out, figuring out exactly what you're supposed to do in the Devil's Carnival, because I think you can earn the token a couple different ways, but aside from 2 huge successes, they all involve pretty weird combinations of cards, like maybe a standard failure, then huge success gets you something. I'm not sure. We don't need the Tinker. The Canyon is decidedly not worth it right now. Cave Rescue gives us a bit of stuff.
Pirates and our bandits are cut from the same cloth.
Just 5 bandits, we got this.
That men are alike wherever you find them. Or is it just that our memories fade and congeal with the cold passage of time?
Oh, when we're in close quarters, this is actually to my favor. Oh, and enormous shields bashes knock enemies down. How lovely. Guys, I cannot tell you how much I miss countering. Well, that was easy. I kind of love the look of this loadout, too, just the aesthetics. Pretty damn cool. Emperor's Jewel, not worth it.
Possession of treasures far too good for you.
And the loans come in. Not that we need it.
You will not withstand his approach.
Showdown, kids.
I will happily.
Okay, we got this. Just gotta dodge that, thrusting attack with his duplicates, and he doesn't seem to be that bad. I love the intros for new enemies in these games. So stylish. Woo! Lord Almighty. Oh, and he's got some range on him. Enjoy that, Your Highness. Mage Strike, are you working? Alright, we just may have this. Yes! Alright. That's the way to do it, folks. So just had an unlucky first run. He's not that bad. Mage Strike might not work on bosses. Yeah, that's what it appeared to be. Well, we finally did away with... Congrats, thank you very much, man. I appreciate it. Sorry it took a bit longer than it should have, and that I had to go through a second round, but we managed and got a few more tokens for our trouble. Honestly, without the element of surprise on his side, he didn't seem that tough. I would actually argue that it's harder knowing what you're going up against to deal with the Ratman Jack and his incessant attacks than the Ratman King. Right on, right on. For turning back the Golem hunting parties, we receive a gold gain card, an armory card, the Hag's Wraps, and the Summoned event. All good stuff, I believe. For the Devil's Carnival, we get another gold gain card and the Giant Eagle, which I'll happily take. And for defeating the Ratman King, we receive the Folded Steel artifact, the Soldier's Furor helmet, the Mage's Scorn mask, the King of Scales, and the Secret Society card. Well, there's one courtier left before our final chapter. So excited, y'all. If I recall, the Lizard Man King's chapter is even longer, so give me just a minute. I'm gonna take a break, and I'll be back with you guys in about 4 to 5 minutes, alright? Thank you all so much for rocking out with us this evening. We'll be right back with more Hand of Fate, or at least I'll be back. You guys will have the dealer to keep you company. I'll be back in about 5 minutes. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Thank you so much for your patience. We have just one more, well, standard challenge to complete in Hand of Fate, and that is the King of Scales chapter. Following his defeat, we have the final chapter I've been hyping up so much over these past few broadcasts, and I'm probably going to save it for its own stream tomorrow, provided, of course, we actually get through the King of Scales content tonight. One thing I really appreciate about the way the game usually designs challenges based around the lizards is, unlike with the rats, whose chapters and events and all that seem to be based entirely around destroying your resource meta, these guys, the lizards, tend to, like, favor just straight-up combat, throwing you against them and, like, 3 or 4 other enemy cards at a time. I'm thinking of the Lizard Dome in particular, or the Jack of Scales campaign. It's just like a straight-up brawl with them more often than not, and I really appreciate that, because when it's just a straight-up brawl, I can use all of my equipment and, you know, counter, and not have to worry about running out of food every 5 seconds. So, let's jump right in and see what we have.
The deck is stacked against you, but you have come this far.
Oh, that's not great. So whenever a weapon ability is used, we automatically consume a piece of food, so we can't use abilities, basically, until the very end. And every 4 steps we draw from the pain deck. So what this tells me, friends, is as much as I enjoy combing over every map and finding all the tokens and things I can find, this chapter, we're going to want to just make a mad dash for the exit as soon as possible, wouldn't you say? And then Rusty Axes and the, cohorts of lizard men out to get us. He's lived since before humans came to this place. Mighty, lonely, and dangerous beyond measure. This lizard man battled creatures that slithered from the outer darkness, from the very hells themselves.
Come now.
Interesting.
We don't have forever. You should run. This is the King of Scales. He has lived since before humans came to this place. Mighty, and lonely, and dangerous beyond measure.
He's just reciting the description verbatim. Didn't have time to write an original monologue this week, guy. Alright, let's see. We'll want all of these. Let's see. Don't need the Devil's Carnival. Or the Apprentice. Actually, no, I'm going to go ahead and throw the Apprentice back in. If it can get us through the map just a bit faster, it's actually probably worth it. We'll do the Bandit attack, and Dead Man's Gorge. Hope everybody's enjoying the stream so far. I know it's been a little bit more low-key tonight, but regardless, I hope we're all having fun, and that this is providing you guys some kind of entertainment during lockdown. Let's see. All of these are fine. I'll take Feathered Ice, I'm quite fond of that one. All good. Don't necessarily need Fortitude's Breath. The Explorer's helmet, though, we might want that, as well as the Angel's wing. Oh, they don't have fleet cuffs in there? Well, we've got to fix that. And we... no, the rings are fine. What do we definitely not need? We want Hearn's antlers. So... probably don't need Fortitude's breath. Or the Mage's mask. We've got like 1,000 helmets and circlets and masks and things. Alright, let's give this the old college try.
Dagger, my final symbol. Can you take it from me? Even if you can, could you turn it against me? I, who know its every mystery. I think.
Look at all those lizards and face cards. Combat's gonna be fun this time around.
Here we are at the gates of Fenris.
Good, good. Greater movement speed, I'll take it. And the Treasure Picker Blessing, which is okay. And it's the Maiden from the Goblin Quest line.
If you can defeat this encounter.
Your thoughts turn to Mr. Lionel and his need for some elven hair. Request a lock of hair. The maiden considers this for a moment before slicing a few strands from her hair. As you wish, but be cautious, mortal. You have the taint of a goblin about you, and they may never be trusted. The greatest of magical artifacts were forged long ago. Oh, it's her standard advice. Okay, well, we got the token. Not gonna get much easier than that. The forge, again, that we can't use. Shame. You've always got to find the iron ore before or on the same floor as the Holy Forge to actually make use of it. I'll offer to help and get a blessing. One that's halfway decent. Alright, let's see. I'm thinking 2. I'm thinking... or no, sorry, 1. I'm thinking 1. Oh, we say 2. Okay. Good. Good eye. Thank you. Thank you very, very much. And we get to keep our blessing with no... just lose some health, that's alright. Mr. Fiddlescruffs, no need to apologize. You've been watching as you fold laundry, no problem. I'm glad I can entertain you while you take care of housework. I always need to have something on in the background while I'm washing dishes or anything like that.
I've not thought of my own mortality in an age or more. Now you force me face to face with it.
Yeah, so we finally discover kind of the ultimate wager here. If we manage to win and take all of the dealer's power away from him, we're going to kill him. So, as this sort of reclusive demigod, he's trying to hold on to his power as it's being seriously challenged for the first time in ages. He's playing for keeps at this point, and we're going to have to as well.
A voyage across the ocean, or maybe a trip down the river.
Oh, what do I do? What do you guys think? Because of the, Pain Deck curse, should I go ahead and just ignore the cards and tokens and all that on this floor, or should I go at least to the tavern and the tavern attack, get their tokens, and maybe head to the apprentice to see where we get thrown, if we get thrown a bit deeper in? What would you do? I would go for the token, MC to him. The tavern's a bit of a grind. Okay. we'll, turn back and see what they've got in store.
Again, we find you in a tavern.
Okay, huge success. Let's do it. Looks like 3, maybe? 3 or 4? I want to say 3. I could be wrong, but I want to say 3. Three, yeah. It's a success. We'll take it. We'll take it. We need the huge success, but that's alright. We get the gold gain. And now the tavern attack. Oh, we lose food. That's a real shame.
There's a token in it for you if you win.
Oh, that's right. Do I need, like, a failure, then a great success? Is that the way that one works? The landlocked lover is a hive of activity when you return, the sounds of boisterous drinking and frivolity echoing throughout. You make your way to the bar to find Carlo, who seems displeased with this upturn in business. You fear the news from the highbinder will not improve his mood. After hearing your news, he says, "Dark times indeed, my friend. Not only is that foul beast back in our waters, but I fear that not all of my patrons this night are here for my generous hospitality. I'll wager we've got more bandits and brigands in here than at Bilgewater Stockade. I hope you've got your fighting boots on." And we're fighting 2 bandits. At first, it looks like more are coming. More unsavory characters enter through the doors, and an eerie silence spreads across the room. Almost everyone present rises to their feet, although a few obviously have no stomach for the coming fight and bail for the exits. One of their number pipes up. Such a shame that such terrible things could happen in such a nice place. If only people knew how to curb their curiosity. MC2M says, failure, huge success, then a standard combat. Yeah. I remember that the tavern, or the little pirate ship event associated with the tavern, is one of the more obtuse token unlocks in the game. I think in Hand of Fate 2 they generally made unlocking tokens a whole hell of a lot more straightforward. Alright. The Queen of Dust once more. We can actually block and deflect this time, so... Come on. There we go. Man, she can cover some ground, can't she? See, when I see this tavern map, I immediately think of a certain enemy faction from the sequel, whom it seems you almost always fight in dilapidated taverns. At least in the sections of the game I played. Man, we're really exercising our newfound right to deflect, aren't we? Ooh. Man, really appreciating how hard weapons like Hugehammer or even the Skeleton King's sword hit now. Oh. Great. Three and four. Whew. Is this gonna do it? No. Whew. Man. The hitboxes for some of the boss's attacks seem just a little generous to me. Normal enemies seem fine, but... Says it's made to be hard as hell. Yeah. Some of these events, especially late game, man, they get challenging. Once the fighting inside has stopped, you start to think about repairing the damage. Just as you attempt to right the first table, a voice booms from outside. You've meddled with affairs that are beyond your remit. The Knowledge Docks are under Mage Council protection, and whatever is happening to our ships is wholly our concern. We're aware of the owner's obsession with the Kraken, and there is clearly no point in asking you to cease your disruptions. You and your ramshackle tavern shall burn in our righteous fire. Oh, look who it is. It's our old buddy the Jack of Dust again. Along with some mages, but they aren't really a concern now that I can deflect their attacks again. Oof. Aside from their little ley line attack, the mages in this game, at least, are basically vastly inferior versions of the Lich. Glad to see the Mage Council hasn't stepped up their game since the White Council incident. So, you know, maybe, like, despite the actual in-game lore, I'm thinking Jack is just burning down the tavern because he's so sick of getting his ass kicked inside of it on the orders of his wife, and bartenders, and his drinking buddies, and literally everyone else. It's like the 5th time we've killed him in this locale. Okay, so yeah, Mr. Fiddlescruff's, to get at MC2M's point, yeah, the Jack of Dust actually has a role to play in the final boss battle. I mean, not, like, specifically just the Jack of Dust, but he will be there. When you return inside, you find Carlo hiding under the bar. He obviously fears mages and their power. Cleaning up can wait until tomorrow. You both find a spot by the hearth and enjoy a strong drink. Carlo tells you about the locals in the area, and the sorry tale of how he came to fear the Kraken so. This card's token is now yours. Well, we survived. What if the final boss was just Jack of Dust wielding Hugehammer? Now that would be a challenge of both a, like, canonical and, like, gameplay, a proper amount of gravitas in both canon and gameplay to like, send the game out on. Alright.
And a wizard.
I'll pay the gold. Don't care.
It reminds me of days past. What brings you to play the game? I know you will.
Oh, summoned. This is an interesting one.
Rest.
A vortex of sorcery summons you to the side of a strange magician. Protect me, fool! He calls over his shoulder as he flees. You are compelled to obey.
The rat.
Oh, Lord.
I am delighted to see him once more.
So, we don't have the best gear in the game right now, and we're fighting the Rat King and a bunch of reanimating skeletons. This could actually be really tricky. Luckily, friendly fire is active, so he can take out his own soldiers, or his own support, rather. Whew. Ooh, Lord. Might wanna... Oh, I've got to remember to shield bash them until their arms fall off. And that is a thing I just said. God, why'd it have to be this guy again already? There we go. Alright, we can manage this from here on out. Oh wait, no, he is a rat, so of course he has a poisoned corpse. Whoopsie. Luckily, now it's just me and the weakest soldiers in the entire game. Said that rat on this map is a bad combo. Yes, indeed it is. It's so narrow, you really want a nice open arena or one of the tombs, but hey, you've been most helpful, the mage remarks, then vanishes. We decide to loot the bodies, because of course we do. Plenty of gain, so 20 gold from blessings, max health boost, I'll take it. Gold, food, good. For the first time in ages, I'm actually kind of tempted to pay for healing. He says as he loses half of his gold. What we really need is just any different weapon that's not one of the rusty axes. That one's not much stronger. I'll go ahead and pay for some healing.
But it is only a momentary respite.
The marketplace. We'll just leave. I'm not about to try stealing from that place. The cave rescue, right on.
Rescues and redemption are the stock in trade of a hero, of course. That's one of the questions we must ask the cards, though, is it not?
So, one of the good things about our run so far, and correct me if I'm wrong, MC2M, I believe... Oh, hello there. Your name, Dark Wolf. How's it going? Thank you so much for joining us tonight. We're, I want to say, nearing halfway through the King of Scales chapter here in Hand of Fate. Glad you could join us. But correct me if I'm wrong, MC2M. But since we've already seen and defeated quite a few of the face cards, it's very unlikely we'll have to fight them again in the same run, right? Unless there were multiples in the deck, the encounter deck. just 5 bandits. We should be able to make pretty quick work of these guys, despite our comparatively weaker loadout. Ooh, he actually beat me to the punch that time. That was clutch, but nasty. I really do appreciate the, like, brutal simplicity of an Arkham-style combat system. Feels very kinetic, very punchy. They're less likely to spawn, the face cards are, unless they're required by an encounter. Yeah, that's what I thought. So, we're doing alright then. We've cleared out, I'd say, just about any troublesome face cards that could spawn, except maybe the Jack of Skulls. The Jack of Skulls is actually the most difficult of the 3 to deal with for me, and granted, he's a Skulls card, so he's not that tough. Ooh, a fairy. Let's do it. 10 max health, that's okay. I gained 10 max health, so we are good.
Did you expect me to tell your fortune?
Bandit attack, we got this.
Fortune teller is at their most base and despicable when
5 more bandits. We got this, fam.
Of course, I am different. My powers are genuine.
Really would love to get a weapon or some kind of equipment loot sometime soon. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's great that we've gotten so much food. Not much to these guys at this point. I will say, though, the fully upgraded bandits are surprisingly tanky. Not much else, but tanky. Mr. Fiddlescruff says, I don't know, man, they look pretty strong. Look, they only look comparatively threatening because we don't have the radiant light of Hugehammer blinding them all and making them appear as ants before us. The loan, which I actually cannot afford. Whoopsie. Song of the White Minotaur is up there, and it is not worth it, given the gimmick of this chapter. Dark Wolf says, true.
At their heart, all games are about power.
Lost some food. That's a real shame. Heroes remains, I'll take it.
And most importantly, the use of power.
I will gladly take an extra blessing.
One of my favorites.
The Merchant's Favor.
Another chance to discover what your heart truly desires.
Be Thor, then it'll be easy. So remember, just be Thor, that's it. Dark Wolf, that's more or less correct. The power of Hugehammer and its superior version, Hugehammer, have seen us through most of the game thus far. You look a trustworthy sort. I'm in debt to an acquaintance in Orange. He is holding some items of mine as collateral. If you deliver this gold to him, an item of equipment can be yours as payment. Oh, I'm taking that. The shopkeeper makes sure the other customers have gone before lifting a floorboard and taking out a small wooden chest. You have my thanks. Please make sure all of the money makes it there safely. Great, another heavy burden. Beware of thieves and bandits on the way, and stay out of the taverns. Okay, good. We will be able to just make this in time. We'll take some starvation damage, which is unfortunate. Retribution. Okay, could stun ranged attackers. Good, good. Ha! I didn't have any food to take.
What an ignominious way to
Take
go.
that.
I do hope you find something to eat soon.
You can claim a piece of the gear I was holding as collateral. Ooh. The rat cleaver. I'll take it just because it's a slightly better weapon.
The provenance of an artifact, but this cleaver was
I sent a food delivery to a distant trading post, but have received no word of it. Perhaps you will cross paths with the merchant I sent and lend a hand? I can certainly try. Okay, I need some food very, very badly. We are starving out here.
a chance to buy more food. You must be relieved.
Oh man, I may actually sell the merchant's ring. Slightly, but it is literally better with 5 damage. It is, and it also stuns enemies. Or it has an area of effect stun that can be fairly useful. So we'll get rid of the axe and the merchant's ring. I don't need to see my shops that badly. I just need to use this shop very, very desperately. 4 food. There we go. That'll hold us. Don't need either of those others. Just need some food.
Seeking the heart of it all.
Permanent injury, not great.
Persistent foe. Here it ends. Do not
Oh,
let
the Twilight Ritual for the Druids. This'll be tricky.
the ground.
You arrive back at the Sacred Stones as dusk falls. The robed Druids are already waiting for you. Stand watch, warrior, while we complete our task. A storm rolls in as the now familiar chanting begins once more. A noise in the trees draws your attention and you quickly find yourself in battle again. One moment. Oh my, 10 lizards. This is gonna be interesting. I mean, as long as there's not a ton of ranged soldiers amongst their numbers, we can handle this. 3 ranged lizards, alright. Let's pop that stun as soon as we can. Oh, 4 ranged lizards, my mistake. Whew. Man, the bargain basement Muppets are really representing tonight, folks. Once we get rid of the ranged troops, this should be kind of straightforward. Again, your lizards hit like a Mack truck, but they are extremely cumbersome, very, very slow, and telegraph their attacks very clearly. But they can also follow up a counter with a counter of their own. There we go. Oof. Thought I got him in time. Man, they hit hard. 15 damage a pop with my current armor rating. Man! Good night, why won't you guys go down? Not feeling super confident for this run because these rituals always involve multiple consecutive encounters. Okay, we're finally taking some of them down. There we go. Yeah, if only there was that Lizard Eater blessing this time around. MC2M. Let's hope and pray we just get some skulls or something for the next round. More lizards. Oh, and we're starving. We've got to fight, actually. Just 6 this time. We can handle 6. Oh, lordy. I can take a single hit before I die. Are they all melee lizards? Alright, this time I'm going to try my best to whittle them down either 1 or 2 at a time. There we go. What kind of ritual are these druids performing? Well, I mean, the attack might not necessarily be linked to the ritual, but I'm just kind of presuming. Ooh, thank God for the rat cleaver. Back. Good. Ritual of the lizard folk mating, yeah. Great. Oh. One food, it's something. 40 gold. One food, are you friggin' kidding me? Okay, we get the conclusion to the druid ritual. Dead Man's Gorge, another opportunity to get food, even though there is no food on this friggin' map. Oh no, a lich. Guys, this just may be the end of the run, and subsequently the stream. as liches are difficult enough to take on by themselves, let alone with a ton of rat men for support. Well, the old rat cleaver certainly lives up to its name, don't it? Now we just have to deal with the lich. Whew. There we go. Ooh, just outside of the AoE. That's fine. There we go. Okay. Please, Lord, let there be some food. And, the game just crashed.